Dear friends, let's start today's meeting. Let me share the screen regarding the draft agenda of today. Okay, here. So we have two main contributions today. The first one is regarding the Basic Income March, the second Basic Income March, to be held on 19th of September. And you know, we have a working group related to this activity. Dear Alexander Dero will give all these details, and I will add a few things too. The second item in our agenda is Expedition Grund in Common project. It will be presented by dear Ulrike Buz. And then we will have some news regarding the 13th International Basic Income Week, which will be held on 14th and 20th of September, between these dates. And of course, we would like to hear if there are any news from working groups and news from UBI advocates and UBI networks. Do you have any proposals to modify the agenda or to add something? Okay, so what I understand is that we can continue with this agenda. So we can start with our first contribution. Dear Alexander, the word is yours.
Okay, well, we will have this second Global March on Basic Income, the 19th, Saturday. I hope that Africa is also joining, because when Africa is joining, we will also have, just like last year, all 5 continents participating, and that is important for the publicity. There is a lot of work done. Several cities are really, and several villages, communes are putting effort to it, that more people come this year. We have to show that we are all out in force. I see a lot of people in the United States having organizations participating there. I think more than 20 places, different places in the United States. There will be Basic Income March, and that is very important, because we have elections in the US, we have elections in Holland too, Germany next year. Everywhere there are always elections, and we have to show that we are a movement and that the movement is growing. And so it's important that we turn up, a lot of people, but also important to have good visual material of what we have done. I've seen in Holland that although we were only 150, 200 people last time in October last year, there were several beautiful pictures taken, and those pictures return in newspaper articles, they return on television. So it's important that there is good visual material made from the global marches, and that we share it. And I think the Americans also want to make a kind of compilation afterwards, so that we have a good visual show of what's happening. I always say it is about an idea and a movement. We have had the idea for a long time. I mean, I was there when we started Basic Income European Network in 1986, but it's only since 5 years that you can say that we have a movement as well, that we have activists and not only academics talking about basic income. And now the thing is to show that we come out in full force, so that also the politicians are noticing it. For instance, in Germany, there is this now, the people of Mein Grundeinkommen, they have collected enough money that 120 people will get a basic income 1 year of 1,200 euros. And you see immediately that had a political effect. Olof can say something about it as well, that at least the main people from the Social Democratic Party say, oh, but we don't like basic income. But that's good, so with that fosters the debate. That's very important, to show that there is a way out of the neoliberalist agenda, and that basic income is part of the answer. And it's important that we show that we are a global movement. It's not only Europe, it's not only the United States, no, it's everywhere. It's important that all the continents are participating. Maybe South Africa is doing something, Ali. Maybe you have some information there. Last year it was people in Kenya participating.
Dear Alexander, if you like, I can share the link of the web page.
Yes, show the link. Yeah.
Okay. So you can. Where was it? Okay, here. Okay.
Alexander, who in the United States is doing most of the organization? Is it U.S. Big or Income Movement or somebody else?
It is the Income Movement.
Ah, good.
And they were also the people organizing it last year. Last year it was difficult because first they wanted to do it in the 19th of September, but then the UN was in New York and they didn't have permission. And then they shifted around with the dates 3 times. So this year, half a year in advance, we have all the dates fixed. Here you see Europe, it's 6, 7, 8 places in Europe, and Ali, of course, in Istanbul. And you see around 20 in the United States and 3 or 4 or 5 in Canada. So, and then of course it's logical because there's a lot of problems in the United States, and the basic income movement is really gathering force in the United States, and it's also very necessary. Yeah, Australia is on it as well. That's very good. So the only continent we are missing is Africa.
Can I stop share for a while, Alexander?
Yeah.
And I would like to share 2 slides. In fact, 1 slide, because the other one is from the web page, was from the web page.
Yeah, show it.
1 second. Okay. You mentioned most of these. This is the second one. But one thing is very important. The pandemic affected this year's basic income march very heavily. So during the weekly meetings, Stacy is organizing these meetings, on Thursdays. We said it was very difficult to ask people to go to the streets and have a real march. So the decision was any outdoor activity with any size is welcome. So even a few number of people, if they decide to make an outdoor activity, for example, they can stay next to the traffic lights. Even this is a possibility. And such things are also available in the web page of the Basic Income March web page. I mean, what kind of activities are the possibilities. So my point is, we better have more markers on the map. Maybe this year we are heavily affected with the pandemic, but it will be an infrastructure for the next year. For example, in Istanbul, last year, we held an outdoor activity. We were about 45, 50 people. It was a start. But this year, maybe we will not be that crowded because of the pandemic. It's quite sensitive in Istanbul. But we don't want to lose the momentum. So we would like to do something this year, and it will be an infrastructure for the next year. Last thing I would like to say regarding this issue is, in case if any one of you would like to have a activity during this Basic Income Week, I mean, as a part of the Basic Income March, you need to register to Action Network and then also register your event to the web page. It takes some time. In case you need, we can help you, but we better have more markers on the map. In fact, I discussed this issue during the coordination team meetings of ECI UBI2, the European Citizens Initiative campaign meetings. They will make their decisions tomorrow. The thing is, we should have markers maybe in South America, Africa, and European area, maybe in Asia, more Far East. And I mean, we should do something which will be an infrastructure for the next year. And as I said, in case you need help, we can do the registration, no problem. So you will have the marker in your city. Any size and any outdoor activity is welcome. This was a decision made during one of the Basic Income March meetings held periodically on Thursdays.
Yeah, Ali, I support that. It's very important that we show a lot of marks on the map. And I see it as a start of a new movement, like the socialist movement had their 1st of May parades with one big central idea, the 8-hour working week. And it took them quite a while before they achieved the 8-hour working week. And I see this is similar. So we have the basic income march to celebrate the movement, and to show that we're there. And yeah, I mean, it's incredible. People from Korea, there's television, they will come over to Holland because they want to interview me and the people from Utrecht and Amsterdam, because we had experiments there, not even with a basic income, only with aspects of basic income. So it's really moving forward, and we have to show the politicians that we are there, and that the movement is gathering space.
Could you tell me, could you put the URL of this map, please, for us?
Ali?
1 second, I am doing right now.
Just put it in the chat.
Yeah. So here is a link of the, I can also share the 2 slides. So Alexander, I guess.
Yeah, this is basically what I had to say, that it's important to start a tradition. And some years you have a better turnout than others, but it's important that you are there and alive and seen. And for instance, last year, the big national television, they had the whole thing filmed, but then they said, okay, you had only 200 people. If it would have been 400 people, we would have been the opening of the news, the national news item. So it's important to show up in numbers.
Yeah.
And I agree, because of the pandemic, it's more difficult this year. Some people are hesitating to come.
Any friends who would like to contribute regarding this issue? No, at the moment. One thing I would like to say, is it possible to, in some of the boxes, I see numbers. Is it possible to put your name so that we can follow you? I mean, we can understand who is in the meeting. Okay, Claudia, please. You are muted, I guess.
Hi. I just wanted to add that I've noticed I've created an event recently that was at its 2nd event, was a citizens assembly, and we were like, the previous edition was very successful. We had like 200 people, which was good for the topic that we were having and everything. And this year we knew we were not going to have that much people because of the COVID and everything, as you were saying. But one thing that we did was to add a digital component to our event, which was a bit tricky to manage, but which could be a good add. So it did bring us, I would say, we had two separate locations, so people tend to go more local these days. They feel reassured if they've been to the place. They think it's going to be people that they're used to see, so less risky. And also having a digital space, so a Zoom component where you do separate rooms. And I mean, I did separate rooms because we did separate thematic sub events, but yeah, you can do a big room and everything. So that can be helpful with a facilitator that allows everybody to have their say and you know, take questions and stuff like that. But yeah, I think what we had was a third in the, we had a third of participants in the digital thing, a third in one location, and a third in another location. So it seemed that, you know, distributing seemed to be a good idea, and adding the digital seemed to be a good idea. Some people were also participating in the local places digitally. So like there was some hybrid there, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say. If this can be added, if this can be helpful to anybody wanting to invent and like create an event, that could be like also an avenue that gathers other people, not necessarily more people, because there's going to be less people than last year for sure, and I don't think it's like the number is not what we can aim for this year, but because reasonably we don't want numbers actually in the sanitary standpoint. We don't want numbers, so we have to find other ways of yeah, trying to gather people, make it interesting without only needing to have a mass. So distributing the people might be a good idea. Anyway, I'm just throwing this out there.
Thank you. Please, Alexander.
I agree. That's what we are doing as well. We're making a Facebook Live event of our demonstration. So some people say, oh, I will not travel 3 hours just to go to Amsterdam. I will stay in Maastricht or whatever. So that's why we have a Facebook Live event, so more people can participate digitally.
And you can count those numbers as part of your participation, so that's good. Yeah.
The press is different, but we can try and sell it. It's more, well, it's simply important to reach people that way. Whether the press counts them or not, it's important to have a way of them to participate, so they feel too part of the movement.
Dear Ulrike?
But I only wanted to add that in Germany, a lot of towns will participate. We don't know the number, but big towns as Berlin, for example, or even a very small town called Norderstedt, maybe no one knows, it's near Hamburg, they try to participate. And I think every person is okay.
After Claudia's contribution, I have something in my mind, and also related to the Alexander's words, to attract the attention of the media. You see, they are after different things. For example, assume that this is a shoe of mine. So can we ask all friends to join a Zoom meeting and show their shoe in the screen? So altogether, we can have a screenshot and we can send to the journalists and say that, okay, unfortunately, we couldn't go to the streets. We were aiming to go, but we are not there because of the pandemic. I mean, it might be interesting. I will talk to my friends. So too many shoes in the screen, 25 shoes. And instead of walking the streets, we are now gathering in Zoom. Or maybe doing something, or maybe, yeah, not only screenshot, maybe, I mean, we can develop this. I mean, Claudia's contribution is very important. Outdoor, maybe semi-outdoor, or pseudo-outdoor activity, something like this. Oh, Peter already started. Oh, Sheila too. Oh, one thing we can do is maybe we can have an additional session of Zoom, and we can ask friends to join for 10 minutes only, and we can make it not in a city or in a town, but we can make it internationally. What do you think? Let's discuss about this. I mean, in 19th of I mean, because we have the pandemic, we have the international perspective, and people are there from different time zones and with their shoes, so they are ready for marching, but they couldn't. We should develop. Sheila, would you like to say something?
Ali, can you take screenshots of that could then be posted? Like, I don't know how many people you can get on one screen, But if you had kind of a rolling thing and you just keep taking screenshots of everybody's shoes, that would be cool.
25 is the limit for a screenshot. But if it is more than 25, it goes to the next page. Oh, yeah, do you see it?
Second shot for the second page. I've done that for a meeting of Dartmouth class of 1962. We had 3 screenfuls for a meeting to celebrate our 80th birthday.
Do you think we can do it on 19th at the same hour like this, GMT 14:30?
Yeah, we can call it also walk or talk.
Walk or talk?
We walk our talk.
Walk the talk.
Ah, walk off or hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about the saying you say, you know, you have to walk your talk. It's not enough to talk, you have to walk. So we say walk your talk.
Talk the talk, no, walk the talk.
I thought maybe walk off thought. What about this? So
No,
the ideas are walking, something like this.
no, you don't recognize this saying.
No, he doesn't.
No, I know.
No, that's true.
It's okay.
Can I say something? Let's discuss this in the email group, the details, so that the others will be aware of it. And let's finalize it in 2 days and then post it in the Basic Income Week 2. And let's have it on 19th. And I will tell to some journalists here, and maybe they would like to join too, because they are participating in our meetings, but mostly in Turkish. But this one will be symbolic with shoes only, so. Sheila?
So how widely can we get this out, and how many people can you actually get on a Zoom call? Like, could we get all of our BICN members and a bunch of other people who hang out in various places across the country? I mean, we could get a lot of people potentially.
I mean, if we can do this, we can increase the capacity of the Zoom room. I did once with several hundred people, 350, I guess. But the limit was 500 that time. But it's also possible to make it 1,000. I can study it. I mean, we can do it. Or one other thing we can do is we can have several sessions. So at the end of the day, it's only few minutes to show the shoes. Maybe we should put the names and the countries also underneath. For example, Alexander de Roo, next maybe Netherlands. So it will be a much better photo. I mean, too many photos. Maybe we can merge these photos and play music background, and then it becomes a short movie. They couldn't march because of pandemic, but they had a walk of thought.
You can merge different screenshots with a make it into a little video for YouTube, and then even add music and so forth. Yeah, sure.
Let me summarize these ideas in a mail. I guess you are all in the email group, so we can discuss there, and it will be an interesting one. We can convert the crisis to opportunity.
Yeah, well, I want to say one thing about the shoes. We had a recent demonstration in Holland, but people who work in the care sector, especially tough because of the pandemic, they had brought thousands of shoes without the people, just the shoes, to show that more people wanted to come, but they didn't come to the meeting because of didn't come to the demonstration because of the pandemic. But it was impressive because you saw there 5,000 shoes on the field. So we can do that as well, that we simply add some shoes to show, look, there are more people there, but they didn't come because of the pandemic crisis.
Don't bang them on the table, though. We'll think we're Khrushchev.
Pardon? Peter?
I don't know if you're old enough to remember when Khrushchev in the UN took his shoe off and banged it on the podium.
A friend says food voting.
I just wanted to add something, maybe for it to be more visual, because we've seen when we put our shoe in the video, like if I can do it, it's not that great. But if I would put like a, oh, it's dirty. If I would
Claudio, I guess we
put
couldn't.
like a nicer picture, and then I could put it on my.
Sorry, we lost your connection. Can you say last two sentences once again?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was saying that maybe if it's more visual, maybe a picture, just a straight picture of some of each of the people's shoe, and they put it on the Zoom. They don't have to put their video. I mean, it's another way of seeing it, because then video is more animated. But if it's just for a screenshot, it could be all pictures of shoes, which might be a bit more visual than a video with someone showing their shoe in front of the video. I don't know. It's just a visual idea to say it could be video or not.
But it's better like you did or like Peter did to show the shoe, and in the meantime, partially this person will be visible too. So it will be clear that somebody is there, and we are not taking just the photos of the shoes. Okay, look, already started. Maybe we should also okay, we should prepare a guide to the participants. Okay, show like this or do like this, so that we can be in harmony. Oh, Ulrike also. So on 19th of September at 14:30, we will hold such a session. It will be a short session. I will summarize your words, especially Alexander's and Claudia's, regarding capturing the media attention and regarding having it in a digital environment or web-based activity. Then we can develop it. But maybe we can campaign it in the social media to attract more people to the game. Oh, it's interesting. Okay. Should we continue with our second item in our agenda if you do not have any contributions to Alexander's words? Is there any? None, I guess. May I request our different 857846, he shared something in the chat box. It might be interesting, food voting, but is it possible to learn your name too, so that we can communicate with you in the future? Or maybe he's not, or she's not here. Maybe. Okay.
Maybe you can write. It's in the chat. Maybe.
Yes. How should I write?
Who are you? Something like
here, 857-846 09488. Is it?
And Ali, as an host, maybe you can activate the sound of the person. When you right-click on their image, you should have some options where you can activate their sound for them.
But maybe she will not be, or he will not be happy with this. So
that's true. Yeah, it was just an idea, but you're right. It might not be the most yeah.
But you could
I put such a message in the chat box. Oh,
it's
Valeria. It's our dear Valeria. Thank you, Valeria. May I change Valeria? Okay, now it's okay. Nice to learn that you are here, Valeria, also. Let me go to the second item of the agenda. Oh, okay. It's an interesting project. Expedition Grund in Common project, and our dear friend Ulrike Booth will give information. Dear Ulrike, the word is yours. When you say to me to share the screen, I will share your material.
Okay. Well, hello everybody. In Germany, there is a raffle called My Basic Income, Mein Grundeinkommen. Maybe you have heard of it. It is the same organization which tries to organize My European Basic Income, which Helwig presented at our last meeting. In Germany, you can win being paid 1,000 euro per month for the period of 1 year. Till now, there have been paid 648 people, and it's all financed by crowdfunding. And now this raffle organized also a project called Expedition Universal Basic Income. You should know that Germany is divided into 16 federal states, and in 5 of them, this project has already been launched. In Bremen, Berlin, which are towns, Brandenburg, Schleswig-Holstein, and Hamburg. The idea is to install a model of basic income accompanied by scientists in 1 federal state, maybe even in all, yeah, and there is a, yeah, that matter. It should be participating 3,000 people for 3 years, and they should get, it is unconditional, universal, individual for 3 years, cash. Adults should get 1,120 and age under 18 years 560. There is planned a group of people being paid, and on the other side, a controlling group beside being not paid, the basic income. And then there will be seen the advantages and the disadvantages of basic income. The idea is also to convince the people who are not really now convinced of a basic income. They say, oh, this is wrong, this is wrong. And if you see the model, and they might be convinced. Yeah, it is a private collection called People's Initiative. And if we have enough signatures, we give it to the federal state. And the state can decide if they want to try this model. There is no legal right. They don't have to. If they want, they do, and if not, they don't. So we think probably they do not. And so, das kommt noch später. Yeah, I can say, and if they do not, then follows the second step. This is called Volksbegehren, also something of a, yeah, the people want. For the federal state, it is only a wish. They are not forced to give the universal basic income to the people. And if this also not be accepted, follows the Volksentscheid, that means all the people of Germany and are asked, the whole population of Germany, if the idea is good or not. And the idea was in the first planning to ask this question together with a vote in 2021. Well, we can see if it's possible. Now I want to show you a bit details. I'm living in a town called Pinneberg, which is near Hamburg, which belongs to Schleswig-Holstein. That is a federal state. So I can also tell about Hamburg and Schleswig-Holstein because I'm working in the network Basic Income Hamburg and also in this Schleswig-Holstein. Now maybe you could show us the website. Here you can see it's called Expedition Grundeinkommen, and there's also English what we are, what we want. Maybe you can read on your own. I think it's not necessary that I read it. And yeah, so here are the people who started. For example, this Joy, can I see you? This Joy Ponada, he also started with Mein Grundeinkommen, and he also started with Expedition Grundeinkommen. And Laura is also for this Expedition Grundeinkommen. They are living in Berlin, and they help the others in their federal states. If you go up here, is show me this, yes. Down there was Jomi, he is for, yes, a bit up here, this Jomi Wagner, he is, as you see, for Schleswig-Holstein. So he, if I have signatures, I send it to him. If I have questions, I ask him and so on. And he sends the material. And I would like to show you, yeah, if you can read it, I think later on, yes. I would like to show you how many signatures we collected. So we start with Etappen. And the first, so you can see Berlin. That is the town which started at the last town, I think in, I don't know, May, June 2020. And they need 20,000, as you see, and they are very, very near. And there is the next. Yes, Brandenburg, for example. They also need 20, and they have a lot to do. I think they collect since April. It was not easy time because of the pandemic. You can't go out, you can't ask the people. And also, yes, there's also a big problem because you can't collect online by internet. You also have to have all signatures on print. So you have to go at the street, ask the people, and it's not easy. On Brandenburg, maybe, as you see, not so many people are interested. Then, no, first Bremen.
Which one?
Bremen, okay. The last one.
Okay.
Bremen is only a town, as maybe you know, not a big town, so they only need 5,000. It depends on how many inhabitants the federal state has. So, but as you see, maybe near the half, no, or not, a bit more. Maybe they succeed. And then now we take Schleswig-Holstein. In Schleswig-Holstein, this is where I'm living, we started collecting signatures on the 14th of December in 2019. And it was not easy because of the weather. In winter it was cold, rainy and windy, and as usually in the northern part of Germany is that weather, rainy and windy. And then came Corona and we had to stop collecting. So as you see, yeah, and also you have to collect on print, as I told. Online is not possible. And another difficulty is Schleswig-Holstein includes many towns, many small towns, and the collecting has to be divided into the different towns. So you have Pinneberg, where I'm living, you collect the signatures. Then you have Norderstedt, we have Neumünster, so you have, it's also difficult to collect the signatures. Then, as the pandemic was, we had a break. And now during the weekend, 29th and 30th of August, we started again collecting signatures. And I was afraid that maybe the people won't talk to us because of Corona. They say, oh, be away, and they would not talk to us, but it was the opposite. They took time, they were interested, and signatured, as you saw the number. Well, could you show us one more? The Hamburg is missing. Ali?
Okay. Yeah, in the meantime, I put the link to the chat box.
Yes, yes. So now we have Hamburg, and that is our big success. We collected, as you can see, 13,421 and we only needed 12,000, and it was collected in 3 weeks during February. Even one day during a football play, 1,200. If I'm collecting in Pinneberg, I get in 2 hours, maybe 20. So you can imagine the difference. And we are very proud of this success. And now the government of Hamburg has to decide if they want to test the basic income. We actually assume that they will reject and won't do it. Then we will try the next step, as I told before, called Volksbegehren, and that means 6,000 signatures probably in 3 weeks during January. Let us hope the best. And yes, and the end of the campaign is usually 1 year. For example, in Schleswig-Holstein, we can collect till the 14th of December 2020. Maybe we try to ask the government that they allow us to collect longer because of Corona time. Maybe they do. Yes. And maybe it's interesting who is supporting this campaign. There are a lot of networks, for example, the Hamburger Network Basic Income, the Green Network Basic Income, and the Network Basic Income, as I saw here in the chat, where a lot of people who think about basic income support. So I think that was what I wanted to say. Now, maybe you have some questions.
Thank you very much, dear Ulrike. Olaf is raising his hand. Dear Olaf.
Yes, thank you very much, Ulrike, for this very interesting presentation. There are 2 possibilities to get to such a kind of experiment on basic income. One is the people's referendum. The other one is a parliament voting for it. I would like to inform all of you that the state of Berlin, the political parties that form the government are three parties. One of those I am a member of. And we decided to have a vote on whether we as a party will back this kind of draft of the Expedition Grundeinkommen. And we will have this vote Friday in a week. So by then I can will be able to tell you whether we as a party in the state of Berlin will back Expedition Grundeinkommen. That's the first point that I would like to make. And the second point is, Ulrike, you said that the referendum, the people's referendum, your goal is to have this on the national level. Are your colleagues aware of the fact that the German people is not allowed to have a referendum on the national level because it's not included in our constitution? We would have to change the German constitution first. Have you considered that?
Yes, of course, I know, and but we want to. And there is also, maybe you know, there exists another movement. It's called More Democracy. They want the people to take part in decision, not only the system of delegates as we have now. They try to get in 2021 8 points to be agreed by the people, called in German it's Volksabstimmung, maybe people's agreement. And people decide during the vote of Germany. And one of these 8 points is the universal basic income. And well, I think, yeah, das sage ich später. Maybe some other questions.
Thank you, Olaf. Thank you, Ulrike. Any other friends who would like to contribute or ask questions? I have only one, not question, but a comment. I mean, the decision of the federal governments are important, of course, but not that much important. The important thing here is, I guess, to create public awareness. So many people are aware of this concept and they declare that they are supporting this concept. So it is something very good. I'm sure maybe Olaf should tell better than me, but I'm sure it will affect the political parties to make their decisions, to modify their party programs. So it's a very valuable effort, and especially it was in Hamburg, I guess, you are more than the required number of signatures. So it's great. Thank you very much, Ulrike. Is there another? Yes, please.
Yeah, I would, yeah, well, first, Peter.
Pardon?
I want to add something, but at last. Yes.
Okay. Okay, Peter?
I think Peter wants to ask.
Peter? No, okay.
No.
No question at the moment.
Okay. So, well, I think maybe as you said, the most important is not to get these signatures, but to talk with the people. We are in the street and we talk with people who have, for example, never heard of basic income. We tell them how it will function and what are the possibilities, what are the advantages. Probably, of course, we don't know, we hope. And so I think that is the most important thing to spread the idea. And me, I don't trust so much in the government, in the parties, and that the government will do something, except the people movement is there. I think they will do if the most of German people want it. It's like the movement against, I hope it's in English, AKWs. You know what I mean? Yeah. There was, wie heißt denn das? Maybe, yeah, well. And first, it was not allowed to demonstrate. And now the government in Germany themselves close the AKWs to get for electric by atomic force. That's what I mean.
Nuclear energy. Nuclear energy.
Maybe, yeah. And
yes, it's talking about nuclear energy plants.
Yeah, nuclear. Yes,
okay.
Nuclear was the word. Yes. And the same with Fridays for Future, Friends Fridays for Future. no one talked about. And now, as the young people are demonstrating and asking, everyone in the government talks about climate, says it's necessary to work for the climate. So I think it will be the same with the basic income. If you have a big number, they will follow. They have to follow.
Thank you, Ulrike. As far as I see, there is no other questions or contributions. So we can continue with our third item in our agenda. It was here. Oh, it's about the 13th International Basic Income Week. But before this, maybe, dear Peter, you would like to say a few words about the global map of UBI networks?
If I can share my screen.
Sure.
Let's see, share a screen. Okay, there. Okay, so is it visible?
Yes.
So this is, there are two versions of the map. I will show first the so-called the clustered version. The clustered version, if you click on a cluster, you'll then see what they are and the names of the networks appear. And if you click on the network, then the data about the network appears. The difference with the unclustered version is that you see all of the points on the map, but you don't have the names because they would clutter it until you click on one, and then you'll see it. But they're the same map data as there, and when you click on a point, you get the same information. It's just a different way of doing it, and both of them will be available on both. Well, of course, on sufficiency for sustainability, we can make the code available so they can be embedded on any website. Ali has a website now with a huge wave crashing down, a good surfable wave with the map on it, and both of them available. The main thing about this map is that it's searchable. So if I click on, for example, I go to this one here on all, I can, if I click on the arrow, you'll see that all of the names appear. So then if I choose one, I go, let's just take one. There. So this will take me directly to this one here, which if I click on it, then I'll find out what it was. This is in Portugal. Associação de Rendimento Básico Incondicional. And it's searchable by other means too. So if you want to know what is there in Berlin, first I can go to Berlin, and then I'll find it. There's at least one. Let's see, any more than one? No, there are two. So I click on the marker, then I can see that that's the Kunden kommen die Linke. Well, let Ulrich pronounce it for me. And the other one is the green network, basic income. So also, if I want to see what it is in any country, for instance, let's say the United States, like USA here, but that came to Turkey, we know what that is. So this is, should see another one over in Louisiana. Let's see what's going on. Ah, that's funny. That's maybe because I'll have to check why we're not seeing this one here. The US big, which is in Louisiana. We'll have to see why that didn't show up. Anyway, that's the way you can search by country, by city, or by name of network on the searchable part. Or you can just zoom in on something. If you see Iceland, you see it and you want to see where it is. I guess it's in Reykjavik, but you can zoom in. You can look at it in the street view here, or the so-called terrain or satellite view. We can actually go in and have a look at Iceland in Google Earth here, basically. So, being Iceland, there's ice. Okay, I guess that's the basic idea, and then we will make the code available and the URL, and then on this page and on Ali's page, there is a place where you can, if you see your network is missing, you can click on this and it'll take you to the form to fill out. So I guess that covers it, Ali. Unless you want to add something else, I'll stop share if I can figure out where it is.
Thank you, Peter. Maybe you can stop sharing. Maybe I can share something else.
Find here, stop share. Okay, yeah.
Very quickly, just to add a few things. What was it? Okay, not this one. Oh, okay.
It takes so little time to fill it out. I don't know if somebody's very busy. It takes them like 30 seconds to, well, let's say it takes a minute. It's not a lot of time to fill out this form. And once the form comes in, then Ali gets it and consolidates it in our spreadsheet. And then I just take the spreadsheet and put it into the map maker, and it just updates. Since we've now got it organized the way we want, I just have to go to each of those two maps and paste the new spreadsheet in, and it automatically updates.
Yeah. The thing is, we have the link of the Google form in the chat box. If you are not in the map, and if you would like to participate with your network, it will be great. You are more than welcome. And also, we will launch the map on 15th of September, Tuesday, at GMT 14:30. As Peter mentioned, you will have the full HTML script, so you can insert into your web page. And also, you will have the chance to use from other web pages who already inserted this data or this map. This was the map which Peter mentioned. It's 65 here, but now it's 66 because this afternoon South Africa also joined. So we have one more marker at South Africa. And I would like to share this regarding the 13th Basic Income Week, I mean International Basic Income Week. On 15th of September, we will have 3 events, consecutive events. At 14:30, we will have an event by working group number 51. It will be a global map of UBI networks. It will be a launching event. It will be Zoom-based, of course. And at 15, we will have the results of the survey. You remember working group number 10 had held 2 separate surveys. First one was an opinion survey. The second was for factual data. So the first one is ready, and we will share it on during these events, the series of events. They are a series of events, but they have the same Zoom link. So if you go into one of them, you can continue for the others. And lastly, at 15:30, we will have a short briefing regarding the simultaneous signature collection campaigns. Where is it? Okay. In addition to the 27 European countries, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Costa Rica, Indonesia, Norway, and Latin American networks are trying to make their decisions, but there's an interest. But Iceland, India, South Africa, and Turkey, they all made their decisions. For example, the others, they are joining to the meetings, they are participating, contributing, but they have to wait their board meetings. That's why we are waiting for the decisions. They will make their decisions lastly on 10th of September, and hopefully we will hear more at 15:30 GMT on 15th of September. So these are the three short activities during the Basic Income Week. So we will be contributing to the Basic Income Week too, with three small activities. Any questions? Oh, Sheila, please.
Can I ask Peter a question about the map? I've been going around trying to get the URL. So what level of things is called a network? Because I see a few spots in Canada, but I see a whole lot missing, including BICN. So I have another question about that. How do you determine where the location is for a national organization? Like how does US Big end up in Louisiana when it's got members like all over? How do you decide that?
Well, the description would say whether it's national or not, but we have to give a place, we have to give a city in order to locate it on the map. So if we just have a country, somehow it'll allocate a city, but it's best to have wherever the headquarters is. And then in the description, it can say it's national, or like in the case of sufficiency for sustainability, it's headquartered located in Rio, but it's global in its membership, and so that's indicated. It says worldwide when you click on country.
And then so we have several provincial networks that aren't
yes.
there. And then what
can be a point if you want. That's what's been done in Germany. There's so many in Germany because the different chapters of Grundeinkommen were listed separately in order to get them into the cities where they're active.
Yeah, so we can do like our state level in the Federation. There are several more. There are also lots of cities. So you want municipal level too?
If there are those chapters, what, Ali?
May I share one slide? Maybe it will clarify the issue. Where is it? Okay, it is here. And right now I'm sharing. Okay. The UBI networks are any network for UBI and any size. And not only networks with the sole purpose of advocating UBI, but also all organizations. I mean, networks, foundations, platforms, political parties, research groups, universities. I mean, for example, Basic Income Lab. If we can convince them, they should be there also. The idea is to have information regarding the networks or group of peoples who are working for UBI, and consider this as an infrastructure project for UBI advocacy efforts. So based on this infrastructure, we can develop superstructural projects. For example, this shoe project on 19th, if we can realize it, definitely we can use the networks who are participating here too. So my point is, it is not one country, one network representing the whole country. I mean, if there's a small chapter or an independent small network in one of the cities, they can be there. Why not to have maybe 500 or 1,000 networks in the map? I mean, they are all welcome.
Okay, and the deadline is the 15th of September?
No, not the deadline. 15th is the launching date. But even after this date, you can join, and then the map is being updated automatically. Am I right, Peter?
Well, it's updated as soon as I get a new version of the spreadsheet. Yes. It's automatic. The URL doesn't change. The embedded HTML code for putting on a website doesn't change. All it changes is the number of markers, and their content will be added.
But you already finished the system, so we need the data just to feed the system. That's what I meant by automatic. And Sheila, the thing is, everybody will, it will be public information. I mean, everybody will be able to develop based on this infrastructure, other superstructural projects.
Yeah.
And they're all, please.
So yeah, no, I just wanted to know so that I will then this afternoon notify as many in English Canada, Claudia and Luc. I will notify as many in English Canada as I know in terms of, you know, cities and provinces and whoever to fill it in. If you guys know of other things in Canada.
Turn Canada green with markers.
Yeah, it's a possibility. And today, John Mills is not with us. Sheila, we are in working group number 53. We are talking with John Mills very closely. And this Saturday, we will hear the news from him. He said that he will find it.
I'll coordinate with John then.
I mean, not only the map, regarding the simultaneous signature collection campaign too, he's working on it too.
Right.
And also Stacy from US. I mean, we are trying to do as much as we can till 15th, but after 15th, it's not a deadline. Of course, newcomers will be added to the map. Am I correct, Peter?
Yes. We'll update it anytime. Let's see. Okay, we can update it anytime there's more information. As long as I'm alive, I'll happily do it.
Yeah, I'd just like us to fill in as much as we can for Canada before it actually launches.
Yeah, that's the ideal, is to have the launch be impressive by the number of markers.
Okay, so we are almost, can we consider that we are finished regarding this agenda item 2? I mean, both the map and the basic income week. For the basic income week, I can put the link of the common page just for information. Okay, in the meantime, we can continue. I think dear Shobana is with us. She has some news from India. I mean, I know that they are working a lot these last several weeks. Shobana, would you like to summarize news from India? Because one second. I'm sorry. What was it? Okay. Okay, so we are finished with agenda item 3 and 4. We are at 5 and 6. So we are looking we are wishing to hear contributions from our dear friends. Dear Shobana, please.
Good evening, everybody. Actually, we have been working for a long time, and finally now we have come to a stage where we are getting ready for the campaign. And also, we have a good news that we have bought a domain for this national campaign, and we are just collecting all the non-profit and organizations throughout the country through Google Form. And we are trying to make all of them upload their own NGOs in the worldwide map also. So that's the news for Peter, who is doing great job in the worldwide map. So I want to load a lot of NGOs in this worldwide map. And we have created a WhatsApp group where we have already initiated a Delhi base. And one Pooja is in charge of that. And Satakshi, who has joined here, she is taking care of our total national campaign, Facebook and Instagram campaign. And last times I introduced Danny. He is in charge of this web page campaign. So we are initiating, and almost we'll be able to coordinate all the NGOs so that we can collect more signatures throughout the country. We have heavy population. And so we'll be able to collect maximum number of signatures. And I have another important good news is that in India, we have a state Sikkim. And the Sikkim has already come forward and they have accepted to implement basic income in Sikkim from 2021. So they have come as a initiator for India. So we are just going to introduce them to this national campaign. And also in our website, we are inviting videos from different experts in basic income. We are collecting 2-minute videos from VIPs like Google Sundar Pichai is from India. So I must send a mail to asking him for a small video. And I have requested Ali, and I am requesting a small video from Peter Knight and from others, those who are here also. So we want justification for India. So we are collecting videos justifying that basic income is necessary for India. The serious constraint in India is already UNDP has sent a letter to India, and India is not ready to accept. But many of our leaders are also discussing. Unfortunately, when we are moving from policy investment towards basic income, there is a lot of disadvantage for the political leaders because many of them are corrupt and they will not get their share if we just directly credit the money into the bank account. So they are very hesitant to accept this policy of basic income. Anyhow, in the website, I have given a separate portion. I have written a essay on economics of basic income, in which I have explained when the money is injected into the poor people's hand, there will be more money to spend to the economy. So when there is more money which is injected into the economy, velocity of circulation will increase and naturally GDP will increase. Now Indian GDP has gone down to the level of 23%, minus 23. So it's the right time that we have to boost it. And so we are talking about two basic income. One is emergency basic income, another one is universal basic income. Emergency basic income need to be implemented immediately because India has got nearly $4 billion from ADB, IMF and World Bank. So this money has to be spent in the form of emergency basic income. And universal basic income will have to be collected by diverting the money from policies. So we have centrally and state sponsored schemes, and also we have subsidies, and we have a lot of freebies by different states. So we are asking all this money to be channelized for basic income. We are not going to ask print more money or to direct the money, but we are going to ask them to divert the money from this type of expenditure and from luxurious expenditures like some parliamentary decoration and other such things. And also last one is we are spending lot of money for defense. So we are asking for warfare to welfare. So with this justification, we are going to give all this in the website and Facebook, and we are planning to collect maximum supporters. And indirectly, we will be forcing the state governments and the central governments to make them implement the basic income. So with this initiative, we are collecting from different states, and Vasudeva Reddy is there. And from Telangana, they are doing some work. He is collecting a team and he's working from there. And I spoke to Rahul Basu to work from Goa, and from Delhi, Satakshi and Pooja and their team is working. Sikkim, another team is working. Other states, we are yet to collect people. So that's a good news from India. And I would like to show you this website that we have initiated. Can I share it, Ali?
Sure. I mean, you should go to the bottom, find share. Ah, okay. It's coming.
Yeah, that's it. This is a simple website that we have started. So basic income for India, national campaign for basic income. We are just join our worldwide campaign to ensure basic income for every human being on earth. And also we are just, that's all, just we are just doing it. And our UNDP proposal for India also we are given here. Actually, in the UNDP temporary proposal, they have given very clearly a particular portion for India. So I have just showed, and I have given that also in the website, so that everyone can see whatever is the UNDP temporary proposal given for UBI also. So that's a good news from our India. And I'm introducing Satashi. Satashi, kindly introduce yourself.
Hello, hello everyone. This is Shatakshi. I am looking after the Facebook and the Instagram page for the basic income promotion in India. Our major agenda is to get the signatures of the NGOs across India. From various states, we have collected certain volunteers from each state, and they'll be promoting this idea by making, by coming up with ideas like of videos, posters, and something which can be easily understood by the people, and they can support this cause. Thank you.
Thank you, dear friends. Sabine, would you like to say something? I saw your hand. No. Okay. Any other friends who would like to say or contribute? Oh, dear Claudio, please. No. When I see the hands. Okay. One thing I want to say is that, Shobana, it's very nice that you will be participating to the simultaneous campaign, and this Saturday we will have the meeting. And I guess it will be a big event, but you were not with us at the beginning of the meeting, I guess. Were you here during Alexander's speech?
No, I missed it.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
We will share by email on 19th of September. Alexander triggered a discussion, and Claudia gave another hint, and then we said we might have a event in the web during the Basic Income March. We will not be in the streets, but we can show the shoes, something like this. It will be discussed in the email group. We would like to receive your network support too during this event. It will be an easy one. You will see. Maybe you can contribute to the development phases too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll just listen to the YouTube that you will be sending, and then we will also plan accordingly.
Okay.
I was little hesitant because March means now already Corona is spreading. I was little hesitant to bring people, but if it is online, sure we can do it.
Okay. Thank you, Shobana. Any other friends who would like to contribute or give news from their networks or from their countries? Maybe, Luc, would you like to say the French webinar? It's a developing project.
Yes, yes. Well, I repeat what I've sent to all. If you are a French-speaking person, or if you know a French-speaking person in your organization, please tell me. Send me his or her email, because we want to have people from all over the world. We have people from Brazil, from Turkey, from France and Switzerland now, but we'd love to have people from elsewhere.
Look, there was something wrong with the lines. What you want from me?
I'll say it again.
Yeah, please.
Okay. On the 19th of September, Saturday morning, 11:30 to 12:30 Montreal time, we'll have a webinar with people speaking French from all over the world. We have people from Brazil, from France and Switzerland, of course, but then for Turkey as well. And we'd love to have more people from from wherever, Norwegia, whatever, South Korea, or whatever, all over the world, but people who speak French and can say what's going on in their country. In India, for instance, if you know somebody who speaks French, so that we have something to have the people from Quebec who are French speaking know and feel how spread the movement is all over the world, and have it discussed in French for them. That's the purpose of the thing.
Any questions or contributions? Shobana, please.
I have a friend, I have a lot of friends who can speak French. Shall I ask them to contact you? You share your WhatsApp number or something.
Yes, please. Would love to have some people from India.
Okay, but they are Indians only.
That's all right.
Okay, because in my college also we are teaching French. I have also learned, but I don't know to speak fluently. Okay, but my friends, they speak very nicely. So I'll ask them to contact you.
Yeah, you have to understand how important it is for us in Quebec, because we are 6 million, 7 million people speaking French in North America. We're sort of lonesome, it's sort of solitary. And we have to speak to our people in French so that they understand what basic income is and feel that they are part of a global conversation. And whatever we do in English is good, of course, but it would be better to have also French-speaking events.
Is it in video you want?
It will be a webinar, and it will be directly broadcast on our Facebook page.
Okay, fine.
And so it's 11:30 to 12:30 Montreal time. So it's Eastern time in Canada.
Okay, thank you.
Dear Luke, we will promote this meeting, but during the meeting, please ask people to join to the global map of UBI networks. If they have networks, they can join. So a kind of cross-selling.
I will.
Okay. Any other friends who would like to? Emiliano, would you like to? Oh, pardon, Claudia, please.
Yes, I was writing to you in chat, Ali, but I'm pretty sure you don't have time to read everything because you have to host. So I just wanted to say, if you could post a link giving more information about the event that you showed us a slide about, because Luke wasn't there at that moment, so he didn't see it. So that's just a quick thing I wanted to ask.
Okay. I just read it. I will share the details in the chat box, but also they are not finalized because, for example, with Peter and with Hannes, we have another meeting tonight after this meeting. So when they are ready, I will share, but I will share the timing of them in the chat box right now.
Okay.
Emiliano, would you like to say a few words about your network, your country? Hi
to everyone. Very nice to meet you. Thank you for doing this. Well, in Latin America, we don't have too much good news. The pandemic, as you know, is hitting us hard. You can see dramatic situations right now in some of the countries in Latin America. And obviously basic income should be and is transforming as a tool, as a response to this scenario. But some of the countries have some conditional proposals, conditional like income condition. So it's very difficult to put in the agenda an unconditional basic income. As in different countries, it is interesting what is happening in Colombia right now. In Colombia, is one of the only countries in Latin America you can collect signatures, also like you were doing in Germany, to put it that in the agenda and to discuss this in the Congress. And in Colombia is the only, I think the only right now, the only country in Latin America which is discussing this policy or is about to discuss this policy in the Congress. Back in Argentina, it's difficult to get that in the agenda. Obviously, Ruben, as you may know, Ruben Lowolo, he's promoting UBI in Argentina for a few years ago, almost 20. But it's difficult to put this in agenda. For example, right now in Argentina, my hometown, there is a proposal promoted by the Vatican, Pope Francis, which is a salary condition, similar to what is going on in Spain. That's why it's difficult to differentiate universal basic income from those ideas which are they say that they are unconditional, but they have some conditions and they are attached to a salary. That's why it's difficult to put this type of agenda in obviously in the Congress, and also to discuss the general terms of the idea. However, in Latin America, in Chile, Argentina, Colombia, we are settling some webinars and trying to discuss in academia and also as an activist the idea. Today we having a webinar, obviously in Spanish, about not only UBI, but also ecology and environment. So it's interesting to discuss both topics because the proposals and idea to struggle with this scenario in the whole region is extractivism in the mainstream. So we have to fight back with an agenda which is environmentally friendly, but also with the UBI. That's why we are proposing this kind of webinars right now. Also, I can send you the link. You can check it. Maybe I send it the email right now. Sorry. It's the Twitter account of the International Network in Argentina. Also, the Chilean one, UBI. Just a second, please. I don't know if I'm sending to everyone or just to Peter Knightley, sorry.
We've all received.
Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, in Colombia, they are making online signatures for discussing it in the Congress. I'm also sending you the change.org link so you can add your signature too, because it's not so, it doesn't necessarily, you don't necessarily have to be in Colombia or being a Colombian citizen to sign it, and it could be useful. So this one is the Colombian signature. And as you can see in Colombia, the discussion is getting heated up. Almost 30,000 online signatures they have already they already have. So, however, the situation and the pandemic is very difficult here in Latin America. We are trying to organize ourselves, and try to, that's why I'm also participating right now. It's obviously difficult for the language for us, but we are trying to help you out and to also be part of the international movement. And please count with us as we can do it with you also. So we hope to join forces and for the 19th.
Thank you, Emiliano. Nice to see you with us. Any other friends who would like to ask questions? Or please, Sheila.
No questions. I have a very, very brief just status of Canada. So by September 23rd, when we have a new parliament and a new speech from the throne, we will find out just how progressive our current members of parliament are. There's lots of talk and rumor that there might actually be something about basic income in that speech from the throne that sets future direction. So we're all kind of chewing our teeth, anxious, waiting to see what happens. But we've got a much more, if you believe her writing, a much more progressive finance minister than we have ever had. We've got a prime minister who seems to want some kind of legacy attached to him, and our sort of social democrat organization that's gradually coming on board and understanding the importance of this. And they've got some NDPs, MPs who are really trying to whip them into shape. So, and we've got business journalists interested in basic income now, not just the more social policy types. So like we could actually see something, or we will all be depressed and I will be drinking the day after. That's all.
Ali?
Thank you.
Ali,
Yes.
Can I add something to Sheila's?
Sure. Please.
Well, Sheila and a lot of people with her are doing a great job lobbying. They are very, very good at it. And so if ever something like that happens, it will be partly because of her and the people around her. Thanks.
I hope she's drinking champagne and not something else.
There's many, many of us, and we won't give up. I'll only drink myself under the table for a day and then we'll come back.
Sabine, please.
Yes, say something what I'm doing next week during the UBI week.
Pardon?
Can you understand me?
Now we can hear you.
Okay, great. Can I tell you what I'm doing next week?
Sure, please. We will be happy.
Okay, thank you. So I will have 2 interviews on different radio stations because I'm touring through a county in our country, and I will be every day in another city. And of course, we have these pandemic restrictions. We can only have 20 up to 50 persons in one room with distances. So I hope I'm invited because I had this basic income for 1 year in 2019. And they all want to know what are my impressions, what I learned from this, and so on and so on, and all my emotional habits and things like that. Yeah, you know that, Peter. You heard me in Hyderabad, yeah, and Ali too, I hope. Yeah, okay, that's it. And I'm doing it all week long next week.
May I say a few things about these 3 contributions? Because in order not to forget about this. First of all, Sabine, do you have other friends who participated in this Grund in Common project too in the past? I mean, maybe in the future, one of the future meetings, we can invite you and your friends, so it will be an interesting chat.
Are you, sorry, you asked me already, did you?
Yeah, I wrote to you once.
Okay, I'm still on vacation and I couldn't get in contact with anybody, so you have to wait, unfortunately.
Okay, I mean, in case there's such a possibility, it will be interesting to hear your feelings and your experiences.
I have this in my mind.
And second one to Sheila. Sheila, I consider these efforts for basic income, let me find it. It's like developing vaccine against COVID-19. Once it is found somewhere, maybe it will be a solution for the whole world. So maybe after these 2 months, maybe we can hear from you, or maybe with together with some of your friends, the best practices or the key points. For example, what we learned from the Swiss referendum, which is, I think, very, very important. Nobody should mention about the amount of the money. This is what I learned from them. Maybe if you can share with us your, what you learned from these 2 months, it will be great for all of us, I think. And last thing to Emiliano, dear Emiliano, as far as I know, yesterday you had the meeting of the Latin American UBI networks.
Here it was yesterday.
Yeah, and Fabricio mentioned that he shared the links for the global map of UBI networks, and also the invitations to the simultaneous signature collection campaigns.
Perfect.
I hope you will join from Argentina.
Sure.
Okay. Can you write your email too in the chat box? I'm 99% sure I have yours, but in case I don't, I can find it from here.
Sorry, my email?
Please. Any other contributions, dear friends?
Just one information. Pooja Sharma from Delhi has joined the team, I think. I think Pooja can introduce yourself. She is taking care of the North chapter for India.
Okay.
Pooja, can you introduce? Maybe some problem in network. Anyway, Pooja Sharma is taking care of Delhi North chapter. So she's doing all the signature campaign and NGO collection and other such works for India.
Okay, nice to see them in our meetings. Of course, we would like to see them in the global map of UBI networks too. From Delhi, we should see a marker. Any other contributions? Dear Claudia, you have a message, but I couldn't understand.
I can say it if it's easier. I just would have liked to know Sabine's origin, like where she's working right now, because I couldn't see it in her name, and you know we're always as she has a francophone name, we're always looking forward to have contacts of our same language people.
She's a raffle winner, Sabine.
I'm not working anywhere. I'm just a free person right now.
No, but I just mean you work from where?
Germany.
From Munich, in Germany, and from Munich, in
Germany.
Yeah.
Germany, okay. Okay, good.
Okay. Any other friends who would like to contribute? I guess none. Okay. Then thank you very much for today's meeting. We can finish our labor of today, and hopefully we will have an interesting meeting on 19th. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ali.